Kryptonians, help me welcome Jen. Jen, welcome. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. It's a good day. I can't complain. I got
It
my
is.
coffee,
Oh,
It's
oh,
it's a good day.
that's how you know
Yeah.
it's a good day when you start with coffee.
Oh yeah. I'm about to run out though, so I'm gonna have to make sure that doesn't happen tomorrow, or
Oh,
I'm gonna be hangry from the moment I
yeah.
wake up. So
No, no.
yeah.
Uh, but Kryptonians, for those who are listening, this is Jen, who I mentioned in episode one with Andy, our trainer. Right, Jen? You train with Andy as well?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, I do.
You are. And when did you join Geek Fitness?
I want to say it was October of last year. Technically it had been
Okay.
it was like a nebulous time. I'm trying to remember exactly when it was, but it was around that time.
Mhm.
Um, but it was a few months that I hadn't started my physical training because I was in a very stringent medical program that
Okay.
didn't allow me to do real workouts. And,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Andy was like, let's give it a little bit of time when you
Mhm.
can start increase your amount of calories. And obviously we can talk about that, but
Yeah,
then we can start really training. So around October of last year.
around
So
October.
1 year. Yeah, 1 year
Oh
now.
wow.
This
And
month.
your transformation is motivational to me. Kryptonians, if you don't follow Jen, make sure you go follow. All her tags are below because just seeing you posted a transition video from when you started to now, and it kept me wanting to keep going. It was so motivational. So, do you have people that say that to you, like online when you make these posts?
It's crazy because I didn't think there would be, and the
Mhm.
few that do, it means the world to me. So thank you,
Mhm.
because
Of course.
it's one of those things where I didn't think I could,
Right.
So
And I was even telling Andy when he told me to take my shirt off and make a post. I was like, no, I'm not one of you. And he's like, no, just
sure.
do it. And I was
Hmm.
so nervous because there's so much, haters online and all this stuff. But the positivity that comes with the fitness world is crazy that I never even realized that there was such positivity
Hmm.
with it.
It's a mindset shift.
It really is.
It's not that I'm trying to lose weight to lose weight.
Mhm.
It's the
Yeah.
I'm really trying to give myself longevity. I'm trying to feel
Mhm.
better. I'm trying to feel stronger, more
Yeah.
capable. Um, and that I feel like once you understand that focus, you get to really
Oh,
see
yeah.
the beautiful side of it that is actually
Mhm.
very, very healthy and very
Yeah.
joyful and beneficial. So,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, no, I mean, I
And
saw
with
your
it,
transformation too. So
oh, uh,
incredible. And you're still on it,
thank
I
you.
know, but incredible. Just
Thank
keep
you.
going, man.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
no,
Eric.
you're doing
Thank
it.
you. And, this podcast and what I'm trying to do is really get cosplay and comfortable in it. So it's really cool to get to know people like you who are positive, keep me pushing in a community that I always was nervous kind of to be a part of because I never knew how it was. And now kind of dabbling my toes into it, it's a pretty positive and an amazing community that no one really feels alone. You always have someone. So can you take us through your journey of cosplaying, where you started, who your first
Sure.
person was that you cosplayed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I'm 34 years old, so um she's an old baby, not really, but
I don't know.
Um
You can never
no,
even
but
tell yet. Not a day over 21. That's what I
thank
say. I need
you.
a birth
Well,
certificate. I need to see a birth.
oh, no, you're too sweet. You're kind. No, it's just I started back in, I want to say, 2008. I got really interested in it, but it wasn't until I want to say 2012 that I finally allowed people to photograph me in cosplay.
Oh, that's
So technically there's like a few years in there where I was cosplaying, but there's no picture, no record of me. So
wow. Wow.
um I've been doing it for a very long time, and it's one of those things that I was terrified to do in the first place.
Mhm.
I was excited to do it because I'm very passionate about the characters that I choose to cosplay. Because I'm like that. I do have like some that are my favorites, some that I just think are
Yeah.
fun. But my very first cosplays started with, I think the very first one I ever actually did was Edward Scissorhands.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Oh, that's a cool.
yeah,
Oh,
I love it. He's my boy. He was the
oh,
first Edward before
the,
Twilight. Don't kill me.
the first, that's so
He's
true. Right?
Yeah, he's my boy.
Yeah.
But I would go full blown like Johnny Depp, no eyebrows, scars
Oh,
all over my face. It wasn't
so
cute. It
cool.
wasn't like, feminine. It was,
Yeah. Yeah.
I am eyebrowless Johnny Depp.
Oh,
So with like the makeup and everything.
yeah.
So I could probably send you a picture too so you
I
can
was
see
just
what
gonna
it
say, is
looks
there a
like.
photo of that? You have to.
There's very
So
few because
there.
back then cosplay was not, it wasn't chill. It was,
Okay.
oh, you do that? You let
Yeah.
people see you like that? Like that was the energy at the time.
Yeah.
So the pictures that I have are pictures that I stole from people that I found online. So I
That
just
took of
like two
you.
or three
Wow.
pictures, yeah, that they took
Yeah.
of me. There's
Yeah.
one of me sitting on the con floor that's really funny with my scissor
Oh
hands on trying to drink coffee. I'm like, I'm struggling.
my God, that's
So
amazing. Yeah.
I'll send you that one.
Yeah, you gotta send me that.
It was a fun time though, but yeah, so Edward the was my first one.
Yeah.
Gandalf the Grey was my
Uh,
favorite because I went full Gandalf. It wasn't Gandalf the Slay, it was Gandalf, old man Gandalf with like the
wow.
deep set eyebrows and everything. Um, and also Ramona Flowers, but that one was like one of my very
Oh, that's
first
cool.
like
Yeah.
girly feminine, I guess,
Yeah.
women costumes now or cosplays. Now, the reason why I didn't really immediately start with a lot of feminine
Mm,
costume cosplays because I do them now, right? I
mhm.
as you can see, like on my Instagram, I mostly do some very, very fun, powerful, empowering, soft, strong women.
Yeah.
And for me, that's very new because back then, cosplaying was the community of it, some of it was
Mm,
wonderful and still supportive, but
yeah.
it was a minority. The majority of people at the time, or at least a louder minority, if it was a minority, I don't know.
Hmm.
I just know that's all I heard.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want to see you in cosplay, and they were vocal about it if
Oh,
you weren't, if you didn't look like the character, if you
wow.
weren't like a certain size, whether
Yeah.
it's like, weight, height, color, eye shape, like people were not cool.
Ruthless.
They were
Wow.
not cool about it.
When it
And
came.
yeah, a very big difference. So
Yeah.
because of that, it was very difficult for me to want to cosplay all these very
Hmm.
strong, beautiful women that I always wanted to, like, I looked up to.
Hmm.
For instance, my Arwen cosplay, right? I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. You can't see,
Oh
but I
yeah.
have
Lord
like
of
the
the Rings.
Shire up here. Yeah,
Are
I
you
have.
excited for the new animated show
Oh
or
my God, you
movie?
have no
Not sh
idea.
the movie. Yeah.
Yes, the War for the
Uh,
Rim. I'm gonna lose my mind.
oh yeah.
That as well, and obviously we'll see what happens with the Hunt for Gollum because I know there's some stuff going on in there too. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll get on a tangent real quick, and we're gonna talk Lord of the Rings.
Love
Um,
it.
but yeah, Arwen, for instance, is one of those characters that I always wanted to cosplay and I couldn't, quote
Okay.
unquote, couldn't, right?
Could it?
Because
Right.
I didn't think I would do her justice because that was a
Mm,
mentality that I was bringing from back then.
mm,
So I think one of those issues is my personal mental blockage, but also
hmm,
the fact that I allowed other people's, opinions to
hmm.
dictate what I wanted to do and
Yeah.
what would have made me very happy. So it's a little bit on me for sure.
Hmm.
Um, but I just love how the community has really shifted into something so much more positive and welcoming
Agreed.
and encouraging. So that's why I feel like I finally feel comfortable enough to
Mhm.
take pictures, and be hanging out. I literally have made so many new wonderful friendships through
Oh.
cosplay. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
that's how I know
Yeah.
you
That's how
because
we
it
met. Yeah.
started with cosplay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fitness was just like even better because that's exactly
Right.
where I'm at.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, yeah, I went from cosplaying only gray bed sheets and massive beards to wearing something like my Jean Grey as a
Dude,
bodysuit, which
which
never in my
wow.
life.
You nailed it.
Oh,
You
thank you.
freaking nailed it. I saw it on, I was scrolling on Instagram. I was like, yeah, you go. Jen." That it came out so good. If,
Thank you.
again, guys, follow her to see this. Her Phoenix is wow.
Thank
And
you.
then you
Thank you.
also do, and I brought your flower that you probably created, poison ivy. You do a little poison ivy kind of magic, which is amazing, and I love it. You just
Thank
did it
you.
at LA Comic Con, right? You did poison ivy, and who
Yes.
else? You did Dark Phoenix at
So
LA.
yes. Yeah, I did Poison Ivy, Dark Phoenix, and Nesta Archeron, which there's gonna be two
Mhm.
people maybe that know who that is.
Okay.
It's like book talk girly kind of thing. It's we like to keep things spicy, so it's a
Gotta
fun
keep it
cosplay.
spicy.
A little
Oh yeah.
spicy.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
and so when you're, because I was listening to music. Well, I love music, and sometimes I'll put on a song, and whether it's Nicki Minaj's "Super Bass," and I'm like, "Oh, this is a Captain America movie, on a Captain America song," just that
Yes,
super bass.
absolutely.
Is there any songs that you play that you're like to get into character for Poison Ivy, or any of your
Ooh.
Lord of the Ring characters that you play?
Oh yeah. And I mean, and Andy knows this, right? Because like I
Oh, yeah,
mentioned it, and I have a few
yeah.
buddies that know this too, right? I go into Spotify and I will
Okay.
go out of my way to look up for a playlist. I look
Mm,
for Poison Ivy playlist, Lord of the
love it.
Rings lo-fi, and that's what I'm
Mhm.
playing in the background when I'm getting ready. If I'm
When
gonna
you're getting ready.
do, yeah, I mean, if I'm doing Poison Ivy, I'm gonna be real with you. The playlists I find have a lot of Cardi B. They have a lot of Megan Thee Stallion. So, cause I'm sorry, she's a bad bee,
She
she's
is.
she's that girl. So
Oh yeah.
that's kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
Now, if I want to do Jean Grey,
Mhm.
it's chaos incarnate, but a lot of like
Okay.
slow, like intense, a little sultry, but
Yeah. Yeah.
mostly like she wants to destroy the world. So,
Mhm.
um,
Take over.
it's that kind of energy, um,
Mhm.
which I love because it's extremely empowering.
Yeah.
I don't want to destroy the world myself personally,
Okay.
um,
You want
but
to
it's
destroy
cool.
glass
I
ceilings, is what you want to do.
Exactly.
That's what you want to
Exactly.
do.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And that's why they're empowering. So,
Thanks. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, playlists are incredible. They have
Mhm.
them on YouTube. I use Spotify
Mhm.
personally, but they have so many playlists out there. And they're
Oh, okay.
just, because picking one song,
Mhm.
that's almost impossible for me because same, I'm obsessed with music. I mean, if I go to the
Mhm.
gym, I'm listening to power metal and one person's gonna know
Mhm.
what I'm talking about. So I'm like, I'm riding a unicorn when I'm listening to
I
this
mean,
music. So
my gym playlist is like crazy. It goes from Miley Cyrus "Climb" to heavy metal to Foo Fighters to my
hey,
treadmill.
it
It's going up.
works. Beautiful. It works.
It
It's the
works.
hype.
It's good. Okay.
It's the hype.
And a lot of the cosplays you do, though, because there was and correct, I'm not experienced with this character. The one where
Go for
you're
it.
all pink,
Oh,
who
yes.
is that you
Ah,
do? Which is
so
so
that
cool
is,
that comes out when
thank
it comes
you.
out. Yeah.
I that's a cosplay that I love so much. And I did it for the first time last year at San Diego Comic-Con. And it was the first time I ever tried body paint the same day I did
Okay.
the cosplay. So it was chaos. But that character, her name is Persephone. So she is
Stephanie.
from a retelling of Greek mythology written
Okay.
by Rachel Smythe.
Well, yeah,
The
yeah.
series is called Lore Olympus.
Lore
So
Olympus. Okay.
yeah, it is a retelling of Hades and Persephone, but it's more of a love story focused with, there's heavy,
Mm-hmm.
themes because it's Greek mythology, but she retells it in a way that feels very digestible for,
Okay.
pop culture kids.
Yeah.
Um, but, you got
I
to
have to
be
check
old
that
enough.
out.
You should. I love it. They
Yeah.
have it for free because she started off on Webtoon. It's a
Okay.
application.
Yeah, yeah.
um, it's all free in there, all the whole thing,
Mm.
or you can purchase the books. I've been buying
Pick
them
up
at
one.
Barnes and Noble. Like I
You
pick
have,
them
yeah.
up the moment
I
I
gotta go.
can.
If the Greek
Um,
in me needs to read it, I need to
hey,
now
yeah,
check it out. Yeah, the
absolutely,
Greek gods. Yeah.
absolutely. It's
Yeah.
very much a love story. So
Is
it's
it?
cute,
Okay.
it's cheeky, it's
Hmm.
it's sweet. Um,
Okay.
I fell in love with her character, and the very specific cosplay I'm wearing is a moment where she comes into her power for the first time.
Oh,
It's when
that's
she
cool.
becomes the queen of the underworld. So
Oh,
because
that's awesome.
yeah,
Wow.
I mean, it's Persephone, right? So she's
Yeah.
both the goddess of spring and the queen of the underworld. Because you can be
Wow.
both. We can be
Oh, yeah.
complex.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
that
yeah.
comes out amazing. But when you put it together and when you do your version of Poison Ivy, you're all painted completely from, head to toe. How is that process? And is there something that because at a Comic-Con, it gets very hot, you're moving all the time, you're sweating. How do you keep it so put together like you do, the
Oh
paint?
man, I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I love body paint. It's a love-hate
Yeah.
relationship because it's so finicky. But
Mm,
I do have my process, but I will tell you this. I like to do illusions a lot. So my tights
okay.
are like I wear tights. I'm not gonna body paint my legs because that's gonna be impossible.
Got it. Okay.
Same
Yeah.
with my arms and hands. I'm wearing gloves, like little green
Okay.
gloves, which thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because I didn't last year. That was a bad
Yeah.
idea. Um, but what I do is
Uh-huh.
I use for me because I'm not super hyper sweaty, but you get
Mhm.
sweaty no matter what when you're at a con.
Right. Right.
So what I do is I use these body paints. They're water-based. There's multiple
Okay.
versions that you can use, but it's a water-based paint. I mix it, wait until that thing gets thick, like Greek
Um,
yogurt, and I
oh,
just slap it on my face.
that's
It's insane. It's a
yeah.
process. I look unhinged. Sorry, I look unhinged. The time that I'm putting this on, it's crazy.
You have to do a
Um,
video of you, the process of you doing
oh
it.
yeah, I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
a little bit for LA Comic Con.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm like,
I have
should
to
I
go
put
check
this
it
on
out
the internet?
for vacation.
I'm working on maybe creating a little like series of how I get ready for the body paint because I
Oh
do
yeah,
have quite
yeah,
a few people ask me about it.
yeah.
So I'm like, maybe I'll do like a little YouTube video or something because
Oh, that'd
putting
be
it on
cool. Yeah.
TikTok or Instagram is too short. So,
Oh,
um, but yeah, so that, and then I set it with eyeshadow. So I
okay,
actually have this here because I was like, there's a chance. This cheap little eyeshadow palette from Amazon. It's
okay.
all messed up because this is what I use on my face after I put
Oh,
on the body
wow,
paint.
that's oh.
I
And
just
it's all the
like
green stuff. That's all the
all of it,
green.
all of it. So
So
it's
that's a good brand
eyeshadow
then
and
for
body paint.
okay.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
it
a
works for you.
$10 palette. It works for
Like
me. It
yeah.
hasn't broken me out.
Okay. Oh,
I'm
right,
sure
because you
it's
have to because I'm sure all that when you put all the makeup on and stuff, it could, make you want
oh
to
yeah,
break out. So
yeah.
you gotta
That and you'll be stained, so you might have
stay. Oh,
stripes and stuff. So yeah,
oh, I
don't want to
imagine
walk
going
around
to work
green.
the next day. Oh, let me guess you were at a con.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I won't fully recommend it because it might stain someone else.
Yeah.
But it works so far and
You
it
know,
looks great. So I'm not mad at it. It works for now.
it
Yeah,
works for
it
now.
works for
That's all that
now.
matters. Yeah.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
when you're at cons and, we touched this on the first episode with Andy, I think because I just came off of New York Comic Con and the cool thing about it, my friend, he had dressed as Constantine and his girlfriend as Zantana. And we were like walking down, and the amount of kids that just ran up to them and hugged them. And I wanted a photo I want a photo, I want a photo. Dad, can we take? How do you ever have that experience? And how
Oh,
is it just to have these kids come up and you're pretty much putting an outfit together that shows their dream character that they wanted to meet Superman or they wanted to meet Poison Ivy so badly, and now they get a chance to do that. Do you have that experience?
oh
Or how
yeah.
does that make
No.
you feel too?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like the moment you brought it up, like I
Yeah.
get this little like light of joy that I feel
Hmm.
because like there's just nothing like it. Like it's cool to see like someone that's in the 20s and the 30s, that it's like, oh, how cool. I love your character. You
Yeah.
look so good. That's cool. That's amazing. That's super validating
Mhm.
when you put so much work into it, right?
Right.
However, when it's a kid,
Mm.
and I got my first taste of it when I was Edward Scissorhands, because
Oh,
believe it or not, children knew who Edward Scissorhands was at
wow.
that
The
time. I was
kids
like,
love
what
it.
is happening?
Yeah.
I know, good parenting right there. Very good parenting.
It's very good.
Um, very good parenting. But it's like, I feel like that's exactly what makes all the hard work for
Hmm.
cosplayers that have complex cosplays.
Hmm.
Um, it makes it worth it. And even if you're just
Yeah.
wearing a bodysuit, which that in its own is a lot because they can be a
Hmm.
lot.
Yeah.
Um, it's like you're really making somebody's day, and it
Hmm.
might be a core memory. And you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know that until like if you get lucky, you'll find out that it was a
Hmm.
core memory. Because I just seeing other people's joy,
Hmm.
to me, that's priceless, especially
Oh,
if
yeah.
they're a child. I
Hmm.
still get so many children run to me when I'm Persephone. They don't know who I am. They're not
Oh,
gonna know. That's
so they
brand
just
new.
love it. Yeah.
They love it. And
Yeah.
the times that I've been Poison Ivy, interestingly enough,
Hmm.
it's when kids get so excited because they're like, "Oh, I saw you in Batman," and I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool." I'm like, "How old are you? You probably shouldn't have seen it, but it's okay
Yes.
because
I
it's
hope you
so
don't watch
exciting."
Harley Quinn animated show because no, not
Right?
right.
Yeah, there's a lot in there, and it's
Yeah.
actually my Poison Ivy has
Yeah.
been confused, but with Gamora a little bit. I'm like, I get it, I
Okay.
can see that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's also like because I tried to pick up a little bit of the Harley Quinn
Hmm.
show, that version
Yeah.
of Poison Ivy, and then just kind of made it my own because that's what I
Hmm.
really enjoy about cosplay.
Yeah.
Um, So it's like, yeah, when they
So
recognize
yeah.
you, it's such a wonderful feeling. And
Yeah.
getting that little hug with these tiny little hands, I'm just like,
Uh,
I'm
it's a
literally
bit.
melting.
You're like, oh no. Or then you're like, I
Yeah.
gotta stay in character, but I'm gonna melt inside. Yeah.
I'm gonna be real
It's
with you.
amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
almost never in character because I'm
Sucks.
too much of a like I'm too
Yeah,
dorky. Like Poison Ivy,
I'd be the
that
I'm
girl
the same.
has her things together. Yeah, she's too cool. She's cool as a cucumber,
Yeah,
you know. I'm
yeah.
not. So I'm a little
Do
bit
you
of
ever
a,
see like Harley Quinns that want to take photos with you, and you guys
oh
kind
yeah.
of, oh yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Lots of
so
Harley
cool.
Quinns, Batmans,
Yeah,
Jokers. Jokers because they just kind of they always have a Harley Quinn with them and they kind of
yeah,
want to do like a little like a dual type of thing, which is
mhm,
always cool.
yeah.
Um, I've had very few Banes because there's not that many people that do Bane anymore. Um,
That's a
yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, there's not
yeah.
that many people. Hopefully, it starts coming out when more movies and shows come out from the DC. We get more of these characters
Yeah. Oh
cosplayed.
yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
Another, and we're talking, and we were just talking about the body paint, and I'm looking at your screen as you're talking. Have you ever considered doing a Mystique? Because I'm looking and I'm like,
Ye-
you would be an amazing Mystique. You
Okay,
would
that
be
means the
great as Mystique.
world.
Oh,
Jesus. Thank you. No, you don't understand. She is my body paint wise, she's my
yeah.
goal. You don't
Okay.
understand.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I could
I
just
love
see the
Mystique.
hair like slip, like your red hair slip back, and the I just saw one at New York Comic Con where the yellow suit, not the yellow suit.
Oh
I'm sorry,
yeah. No, but
the
I
white.
know what you're talking about. Yep,
With the white, and that one I think is like an iconic from the
I
book,
agree.
straight from the book. Uh,
I agree.
but I mean, whatever you would put your twist on it and all that, I think you'd
See,
be amazing.
thank you. That means a lot because
Yeah.
so there's this cosplayer I love and she's incredibly
Mhm.
talented and she's such an inspiration for me.
Uh-huh.
Gracie does cosplays
Oh
and
yes, Gracie.
yeah,
I
Gracie
know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
incredible.
She's so
I'm
good. Did
I'm
you see her
obsessed
Venom
with her work.
that she just did?
Yes. Oh my
I'm
God.
like, oh my God,
That
so
girl,
cool. Yeah,
that girl's on another level. Like she's
she
such an
is.
inspiration. And
Oh
I
yeah.
geek out really hard. I'm like, I love you. I love you. Um, but she has exactly that. She has the mystique with the white dress and the little skull
Okay.
pieces. And I'm just like,
You're like, I want to do it.
that's exactly the
Yeah.
cosplay I eventually want to do.
Let's make
I
it.
have, I'll make it happen.
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta give myself a few years because
Of course.
for me, my
Mhm,
biggest accessory right now, where I'm at,
mhm,
mentally,
mhm.
spiritually, emotionally,
Of course,
for
yeah.
me, my biggest accessory is my body being my strongest suit, right? So
Mhm,
it's like I want to feel
mhm,
strong, I want to feel
mhm.
powerful, and not that I
Right.
have to meet a certain standard. It's the
Mhm.
I just want to feel badass.
Right.
So, and Mystique to me is one of the most
It's
badass
badass.
babes.
Oh
She's
yeah.
incredible, you know?
Oh yeah.
So eventually, it would take me a few years, because, it just takes
I'll be
time.
on that journey with. I want to see it.
Yeah,
So
there
I
we go.
am gonna.
Hey, we're here.
Okay, let's get it. I'll be at that San
Absolutely.
Diego Comic Con with you, being like, yeah, that's Mystique right there. That's crazy.
No, thank you. That means a lot. Thank you, because I would love to do Mystique, and
Would be
that's
cool.
that's a goal. It's just
Mhm.
it's in the horizon right now. It's in the
Are
horizon
there
for sure.
ones like Mystique that do people come up to you and say, oh, I think you could be this and I think you could be that kind of
I've had
thing?
a few. I've had a few.
Yeah.
One of our fellow geeks mentioned, and I can't remember the name of the exact character, but it was like a Spider-Verse, Spider Girl type, but it was this very
Oh,
specific one. But it
okay.
wasn't Gwen. It wasn't Spider Gwen. It
Okay.
was like a very specific one, and I need to go back and check it out.
Yeah.
But I've only had that. I've had a lot of a lot of goth girls, which I'm
Okay.
down for because
Do
same.
it. Yeah.
Um, but I'm like a lot of these characters I don't know because I don't know the
Mhm.
fandoms yet. So,
Okay.
but I do have a lot of people asking me to
Mhm.
do Catwoman,
Oh, that'd
and
be cool. Oh, yes.
I love Catwoman. Like
Do it.
I,
Do it.
but
Yeah.
it's like, but here's the thing, like I love
Yeah.
Catwoman and I also love Black Cat. So I'm like, I'll do both,
Oh.
you
Oh, you
know?
can mold it. Yeah.
I could mold it together, but I
Yeah.
definitely would want to do one and one because they
One.
each
Yeah.
deserve like their own
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But those are the types I typically get nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
which I personally feel super honored because
Mm-hmm.
they're incredible characters that I love. And I
Mm-hmm.
just, again,
Oh, yeah.
coming from 2008 type cosplaying, I never thought I'd be able to. I never thought
Be where
I would
you
be
are now.
cheered
Yeah.
on. Yeah,
And I think that's such
so
a cool thing. And every cosplayer that I've talked to, including you, one thing I always say is I've always been nervous to do Superman because I've always been the chunkster of I've always been chunky. And I was like, I can never put the suit on. And one thing everybody says is, you can do whatever you want and just do it. There's
Mm-hmm.
people, it
Yep.
doesn't matter your shape and size. And it's
Yep.
just crazy because I always think back in the beginning of the 2000s, I felt like you always had to look, you had to look like Henry Cavill or you had to look
Oh
like this
God.
to even just put the suit on. I'd wear it for Halloween, but that was Halloween, no one's watching me. And I think that's so cool. Like, besides the people I'm going to get the candy from, but that's it. And they're
No,
like,
you're
yeah, no,
fine.
kid, don't. But it's so cool to hear, like you say, even that, that you see that transition of it's okay, doesn't matter how you
Exactly.
look,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah. I mean, come on. We're first of all,
yeah,
we are cosplaying
yeah,
characters that are not real. They're not real.
yeah,
So why are we being like, okay, so you're gonna be mad at me because I'm not actually naturally like pink,
hmm
blue, yellow, orange?
hmm
You're
yeah,
gonna tell me that I don't look like the character because I don't have a
right,
2-inch waist and a 45
hmm
inch hip? Like what is
right,
happening? Um,
hmm
I feel very passionately about that because it's one of those things where I just don't think it's healthy to
it's,
have such incredibly unrealistic expectations for people
yeah,
that are, guess what? People. They're human.
trying
Humans
to have fun,
come
yeah,
exactly. We're trying to have fun.
yeah,
We all come in different shapes and sizes, and we
hmm
all deserve joy. We all deserve to have fun.
agreed,
So,
yeah,
whatever it is that we want to cosplay,
hmm
we're gonna cosplay it. And if you don't like
exactly,
it, that's
yeah.
not my
Go
problem.
to the
That
next person, yeah.
go to the next
See you
person.
later,
Yeah.
peace, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So like even you saying like, oh, I wore my Superman suit for Halloween and like no one saw me. It's like even that alone, it's like sure, it's funny and like we can laugh about it, but it's also
yeah.
like that's
No,
sad.
that's
Like
true.
we
Yeah,
should be able to
no,
enjoy
it's true.
ourselves, right? So
I
it's
agree.
like I just I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I'll be real with you. Everybody tells me that they're so happy and excited about my Jean Grey
hmm
cosplay, right? It's a bodysuit.
hmm
I was having a panic attack. I was telling my friends, I
hmm
was telling Andy, I'm
Wow.
like, I don't know if I have the mental capacity to do this.
hmm
I'm terrified
hmm
because I mean,
hmm
Jean Grey is like half my size if we're going to be like
Wow.
regular human beings standing next to each other. And
Right.
it shouldn't matter, like it doesn't matter if I'm, 2 feet taller than her. Like, I don't know,
hmm
something insane. It doesn't matter. What
hmm
matters is why are you cosplaying this character? Is it something that brings you
That's what it means.
joy?
Yeah.
Do you exactly like do they inspire you? Um,
hmm
because then you can connect with people. Why do you love this character? You have that conversation and you just made a long-term friend.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
It's so
It's the
true. Yeah.
interactions, it's the people that you end up meeting through this process. Because maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just really biased because I
No, no.
live for cons.
Oh,
Um,
I live for. Oh, yeah.
it's just
Cons are the
it.
best.
They are. It's building
Yeah.
community, and
And you're
to
like,
me,
damn, I
that's
love our freaking community because everyone's so
yes,
cool. I was walking down and New York Comic Con. I was like, freaking A, yeah, everybody's so cool. The nerds are out. Let's go.
yes.
Yeah.
I love that
It
we
was funny.
reclaim that word too.
Oh yeah, no, oh yeah, I use that. There's a writer, Tom King, who's amazing. I love Tom King, and he will literally just call you a nerd in a comment
Love
when
it.
you're like, "I love you, Tom King." He's like, "Nerd." I was like, "Yes, we're making nerd a thing. We're making nerd
Oh yeah.
fetch."
Oh,
And
absolutely. Oh yeah.
yeah, and I went to a quick funny story, New York Comic Con last year, and we were leaving the con, and there was these two girls with their mom. They just had left brunch. They were a little drunk, whatever. They're coming out of the restaurant, and I'm there with my Superman suit, suit jacket. And they're
Hell
like,
yeah.
"Where did you guys come from?" And we're like, "Oh, we were at the Comic Con." And they're like, "Oh my God, you guys are nerds." And we're like, "Yeah." So as we're continuing to walk, the mom's apologizing. Oh my God, I'm so sorry for my daughter. And all of a sudden, the daughter just face plants on the floor. And we're running to go help her because she's just drunk on the floor.
Oh
And she was like,
no.
"Oh no, nerds are nice." And I was like, "Yeah, we are nice. You go, girl."
Oh
You do you.
geez.
But it's just so funny because people try to use that word as if it's offensive. And I think we're
I
making it unoffensive because we own it
yes,
now. And I love this
absolutely.
time where I'm happy that I'm living in a time when it's we can make this cool kind of thing.
I
Because I feel like for
100%.
years, our parents and the parents, their parents and our grandparents and all this, it was always like, oh my God, nerds, 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 nerds. Well, now we're like nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
It's like,
Yeah.
sorry, I probably
Yeah.
won't relate to you unless you're at least a little bit nerdy.
And
Like
I think I
I
had my
need that.
parents as a kid. I think I had my parents worried because I used to be a diehard Power Ranger fan. I had my first
I love
crush
that.
was my first crush was the Pink Ranger. I loved Tommy. I wanted him to be my my friend.
Hell yeah.
And every time they would ask me in school, or they'd be like, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, "I want to be the first plus size Power Ranger. That's what I want to be." And they're like, "Oh yeah, kid."
I
I
love
think
that.
I said it
Hell
so
yeah.
much, my mom was worried. She was like, "Oh shit, I think he's really thinking about this." And I was like, "Oh, you know what? I think I should." And here
Hey,
I am now.
honestly,
Yeah,
hey,
right.
you still did it, just
Yeah,
adjacent, you know? It's
exactly.
there's nothing wrong with
Exactly.
that.
Now
Yeah,
but
no, I
no,
mean,
it's so cool.
I
It's
love
just a
that.
community. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a community and you feel welcomed and
Yeah.
you feel supported,
And I think
It's
that was and you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was the great thing about Geek Fitness is that it built this community amongst us. And I mentioned in episode one how I moved to the West Coast. I didn't know anyone, but Andy was able to connect me with you and with other people over here that I was then like, okay, I'm not alone over here, and I have a community that's over here. But it also makes you feel more confident that when you put Jean Grey on, or when I eventually do put the
Mhm.
Superman suit on, I'm like, okay, I can go out and work it. I used to hate going to the gym and looking in the mirror, and I'm like, why do they have all these damn mirrors everywhere? And I'd be working out, looking down. I'm like, no, but now I'm like, okay, I kind of like looking in the mirror now.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have that same experience with Geek Fitness where with
I mean,
everything?
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's one of those things where, I'm I might be someone that is chaotically busy a lot.
Uh,
I tend to overbook myself. It's the
yeah,
ongoing
yeah.
joke with my friends where they're like, "Hey, can you pencil me in?" I'm like, "I'm sorry.
So
I love you. We'll
I do
hang
the
out.
same thing.
We will make time together to
Yeah,
hang out." But
yeah.
um I will go out of my way to make sure that if
Mhm,
there's an event, if I find out that geeks are getting together to like to do the
mhm.
hike, for instance, that we did,
Yeah.
at Griffith
Oh
Observatory.
gosh, when I embarrassed myself the first time I met
Oh,
you, and I'm going down the hill on my butt trying to get down.
hey, you
I
were
was
not the only
literally
one.
naked and afraid. My mind was naked and I was just afraid.
You know what? All of us, you're
Yeah,
okay. Some of us ate it
yeah,
harder than
yeah.
others.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
it was fun. Honestly, that
yeah,
was such a fun time. I loved
yeah,
it. And I kind of feel like if everybody's too cool and everybody is like fine and handles the
mhm,
hike just fine, I
yeah.
don't think it would have been nearly as bonding or fun
Oh yeah.
or exciting.
Hmm.
So the
I
serotonin
agree.
had purpose.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it's like I will happily,
Hmm.
go out of my quote unquote go out of my way, right? Like if I already have plans for my day, but they were
Hmm.
really not that important, I
Hmm.
will make sure I block out an entire day to hang out specifically with you
Hmm.
guys because it's it's so
And
hard to find people that are like in that
mhm.
same headspace that you're in. And
So
not
true.
just that, people that you can actually be friends with
Mhm.
because friendships, they're easy when you're a child, right?
Mhm.
Because it's easy, you just become friends. When you
Right.
become an adult, um,
It's harder.
things like it's harder. And it's not
Yeah.
because, oh, some people are good, some people are bad. Not that at all.
Mhm.
It's we all just simply have different priorities. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. But if
Exactly.
my priority,
Right.
okay, so with the different priorities that people have,
Yeah.
right? My personal priority, I would much rather, go on the
Mhm.
hike, spend the day together, get the ice
Mhm.
cream that we all do, because apparently that's a geek fitness thing now.
It's the thing that we
Ice
all get
cream.
ice cream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm here
Yeah.
for it. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Um, we'll do that. Or the sweet potato fries with the steak, like
Oh,
it's a
that's
must. Just wow.
yeah.
Um, my life has been
That's good.
elevated. Um, I will make time for me to want to
Mhm.
do that, and those are going to be your priorities over
Mhm.
somebody that, wants to go during the morning to day drink at a bar to watch a football
Yeah.
game, you
Right.
know, and that's fine. That's still a great
Mhm.
time. That's still a lovely
Yeah.
thing to do with friends, but
Right.
it's like it's not to pick and choose favorites. It's to what is my priority? What is my lifestyle? Um,
Exactly.
that's not to say that I'm not going to enjoy a good drink. I love
Right.
whiskey. So I
Oh,
will have my whiskey with my steak,
love a
right?
good whiskey. Yeah.
Love a good whiskey. But
I
like,
just
for
had
instance,
the
I
my
can't drink
first
beer.
peanut butter whiskey, which was pretty
Ooh,
cool. And I was
the
like, oh my
screwball?
gosh, this is yeah, it's life changing. Like this is life changing.
It
I'm gonna go
is.
to the store after, and I was about to buy it. I can't.
Oh
It's
yeah.
life changing. I
Yeah,
love peanut
I
butter, so got my
oh
protein while I was drinking. Yeah,
Hey, I'm here for it. I love it.
yeah,
Yeah, I love peanut butter too. I
yeah.
have to be so careful. I used to be that kid
I
that would
just
get I would just get a spoonful and just
that was me. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
happy.
me.
And it was
Yeah.
never just one spoonful. So,
Oh no, it
you
was the
know.
whole container for me, but
Oh, absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
yeah,
But like you can still do that. You can still enjoy like your spoonful, but like
right.
if we have goals that we want to stick to, then that's a whole
Hmm.
other conversation, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, like you can treat yourself though. I don't believe
Mhm.
in cheating, like cheat days, I don't believe in
Oh
that. It's a treat. You're enjoying
yeah,
yourself because you
treating.
shouldn't be it's not why would you punish yourself?
Yeah. And
You
that's
shouldn't
something
be
I
punishing
learned
yourself.
too, because I had asked Andy once, and I was like, "Oh, I was craving M&Ms. Can I eat M&Ms and Reese's?" He's like, "Yeah, bro. Like,
Yes.
go eat like eight of them. Just don't eat like hundreds of them." It's like, "Okay,
Yes,
sounds good. I'll go eat." He's like, and
absolutely.
that's one thing I've learned, and I also touched on the first episode was just throughout the years of me growing up, I've always tried every diet. I tried Weight Watchers. I think Jenny Craig at once, I've tried
Wow.
everything,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
nothing really would work. And once I joined here, I realized it's because you don't need a diet. It's just a lifestyle change that makes it a thing. And that's everybody always asks me, what did you do? What did you do? What diet are you on? I was like, I'm on the Geek Fitness lifestyle change. I'm not
Yeah.
on any diet. That's the thing I'm on. And you got to join the club. I don't know, tell
Hey,
you. Yeah.
absolutely. Yep. Yep.
But
Yep.
it's a lifestyle change. And, I, um, just to I have two questions for you,
Yeah, go for
final
it.
questions to wrap, because I
Sure.
know you're very busy and I'm sure we have to go work out because Andy's probably watching and he's like, did they go work out that day? Just-
It's
but
all good. I
the
got a
first,
long walk today, so
oh,
I'm chilling. Yeah,
which by the way, before I want to come visit. I've heard how beautiful San Diego is, but I really want to do a hike over there, so I definitely got to come
oh, I
and we got to
got
go
you.
do a hike.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
I'm
you.
gonna
And
let you know when I'm coming.
yeah, for sure. And honestly, I keep telling
Yeah,
a few people
yeah,
whenever the geeks come back to San Diego, even if it's just like one or two at a time,
yeah.
for sure I'm taking y'all to Balboa Park because
Hmm.
that's my spot. Like
Oh,
that's where I'm
yeah, yeah,
walking.
yeah.
But there's
I'm
so
trying
many
to
little
get to San
hikes.
Diego Comic-Con, but the tickets go so fast. I'm like, I know the
Yeah.
tickets went down the other day, so they're gonna
Mm,
redo a new day. But I'm
yes.
fingers crossed I can go next year. But
Yeah, no, for sure.
my first question to end it all is if Kevin Feige from Marvel or James Gunn from DC were to come and sit next to you and say, Jen, we saw you as cosplayer and we really want you in a movie. What character would you want to play?
Oh my
It
God.
could be Marvel, DC, and I mean we're talking now and I see like a Black Widow in you a little bit, and I'm like, oh
Oh,
my gosh.
Miss Romanoff. Oh
Like,
God. I don't know if I'm cool enough to do any of
oh,
them. Let me
you
see.
are so cool.
Jesus.
You are cool.
That you just gave me the impossible question. Wow.
Oh, it's
Okay.
about, yeah.
Well, to me it is because
Yeah.
I love all my girls. Like
Mm.
that is so difficult here. If I got really good actor training, because I'm really dorky and I have a really hard time being like cool and collected and like all
Yes.
that stuff, I feel like, oh man,
Uh,
oh no. See, I love Catwoman because she's so sassy but
yeah.
chill. But
Mm.
I feel like something that would actually probably fit my personality easiest might be but no, because I was gonna say Gamora, but
Oh, Gamora.
yeah, only because Gamora is not always the most cool, calm, collected, and she
Mm.
has some moments where you're just like,
Is
wait,
she?
what are you thinking? What are you
Yeah.
thinking? What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think, oh, I
Pretty
would
much
lose
any
my mind.
badass you would be. Badass,
I would
strong, empowerment.
I would love
That's you.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean when I said whole Mystique thing, I'm like, yeah, but I'm sorry. To me, again, Horizon, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
geez, Mystique. Oh my God,
Oh,
Mystique. Oh my
shit.
God. But I just see I'm impossible because I'm like, yeah, but Jean Grey. You know what?
Everybody you played. Yeah.
I'll be Jean Grey if she is
Okay.
another Dark Phoenix because I
Mm.
love her complexity.
In the dark. Yeah.
I do. I love that she's
Dark
like
Phoenix
I
era.
love how imperfect she is. Yeah. I
Yeah.
just it feels so real to me and it
Mm.
feels so kind of like fighting with your demons, which a lot
hmm
of us do, you know,
hmm
and we just don't talk about it because it's not very
hmm
normalized. So, obviously we all have different ones, but like hers in particular is so heart-wrenching to me because she has so much love to give and so much like empathy, and
hmm
she has this out of control thing. It's like I call it the brain poison, right?
hmm
Where she can't control it and she's trying
I don't know.
to, and she would rather die than actually do what that brain poison is making her do.
Yeah.
Um, and that just that breaks my heart. And
Oh yeah.
I guess that's what I would do. I would actually end up wanting to do Dark Phoenix because
Gene.
I just have
Okay.
a very specific, like
All
very
right, Kevin,
specific
you heard
love
it.
for her.
You heard it.
Yeah.
Kevin, okay. You have your Gene. Gene.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Of course, and then just to wrap everything up, because and I keep repeating it, I'm getting ready for Superman cosplay for Superman that comes out July 2025, and there's so many other future cosplayers out there. Is there any advice, a final advice that you'd like to give to all of us out here who are trying to make it in this world, make it as our favorite characters?
Oh, geez. Well, first of all, you're already making it. The fact that you want to, you're already making it
Thank you.
because that's what
Thank
you
you.
need.
Yeah.
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 You need to have the passion. You need to have the love for it
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, that's what this is. It's just a
hmm
hobby that we all
hmm
run with, and
Oh yeah.
it's just self-expression. So
hmm
allow yourself to not need anybody's approval
hmm
because to me, that's the biggest thing. Growing up, I
hmm
always needed quote unquote other people's approval so that I would do anything that I wanted to for myself.
mm
That's not
Right.
important. What's important is
Yeah.
whatever's going to make you happy. And if you
So
continue
true.
to prioritize other people's like
hmm
wants, needs, whatever opinions,
hmm
you need to be surrounded by better people, babe.
Oh yeah.
You really do. Because it's there's nothing better than really like realizing your own full potential, especially through something as cosplay, because we all cosplay characters that we relate to a little bit here and there, you know?
Right.
And I feel like it's very healing,
Mhm.
without needing it to be. We don't mean
Yeah.
to be healing ourselves, right? But
Mhm.
it's very empowering. It will help with your confidence. My confidence level did not ever feel this strong until I started allowing myself to fully
You
express
feel.
my
Yeah.
full nerd, yes, through
Mm.
cosplay. That's when I was
Love
like,
it.
oh no, I can be a bad bitch. I can be a
Oh,
bad bee, you know?
yeah.
Sorry, I tried really hard not to cuss and I just did.
You're back.
So,
No, no, you do.
whoops.
Bad
Cool.
bit.
Yeah, it's just, just give yourself permission.
Mhm.
Give yourself permission. You don't need it from anyone else. Um, and be very unapologetic about it. It might be hard,
Mhm.
especially if you're a people pleaser.
It is
Um,
very hard. Yes, that's me.
it is. And don't feel like you have to
Yes.
meet certain expectations. You don't have to spend
Mhm.
$5,000 on a cosplay. You don't.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
put stuff together. You don't have to be this
Yeah.
perfect replica. Some people love doing that, and
Mhm.
that's great. You don't have to. Buy a Halloween costume for the first few times if you want. That's what I did with Edward Scissorhands the first few times. And
Okay.
eventually I made it my own, you know? So
Love.
just
And I'm
anyway,
in the
give yourself
process of
permission.
that, putting the suit, starting to put the suit together and trying to figure out when the perfect time is. Because what if well, hopefully I don't gain weight, but if I continue to lose weight, then what happens? Do I have to go get a new suit and spend more money, or do you just alter it? And so
Hmm.
much that goes into it, but it's fun because it's something that
It
you
is.
enjoy putting it together. Um,
Yes.
but Jen, thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining. And I'm sure we'll have you back on just to
Oh,
continue
for
the
sure.
journey and stuff and
Yes.
everything.
No,
And
no.
July
Yes, absolutely.
2025, I hope you're in theaters with us because who knows,
Oh,
maybe we'll
yeah.
have a screening for it or something. So maybe you'll come
Oh,
cosplay
I
ready.
will
Yeah.
I would lose my mind. I will be in
Oh,
cosplay, even if no
oh,
one else is.
yes.
I will
That's the
be in
only thing you
cosplay.
have to be. Uh,
Down.
but thank you again. And Kryptonians, make sure you follow her if you want to see an amazing journey, amazing cosplays, and an amazing human being. So make sure you
Oh, you're
follow down
sweet.
below. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.